Today we're going to be tying the Silver Wilkinson, and the hook I have in the vise is a Scandinavian Salmon double, size 10 in silver. The thread I'm going to be using is Unithread 80 in white. I'll catch on about halfway down the shank. Nice touch and turns down to between the point and the barb. Trim off the excess. And for the tag, we're going to be using some silver oval, small. So pull off about 7 or 8 inches. Now when I catch the tag in, I want to take the butt end up to where I started my body, or where I started whipping on. Two or three turns to catch it on, and then nice tight touch and turns down under the bend. You want 3 or 4 turns just till the hook starts, 2 hooks start to separate. Pull it up between the hooks, catch it in. Take your scissors again, trim it off where you caught your thread on at the start, and bring your thread up to tidy everything in. Bring your thread back down to the start of the tag, and for the tail we're going to be using some golden pheasant breast. So I've picked a feather here, measure it up, you're looking for 1 to 1.5 times the length of your shank. Peel off any of the flue and the fluff, the waste, and again I always take off a wee bit extra on the side that's going to be on the inside wraps of the hackle. Pull your fibres back, freeing up the tip. Tie your feather in at the tip with the curve of the feather pointing down. Just a few wraps just to secure that. Trim off your tip. Now gently stroke your fibres back. You want 1.5 to 2 touch and turns. There's 1. 2. A couple of turns over to catch your stalk down in. And take your scissors, just nip your stalk off, and that'll pull out a few of the looser threads. Now take your dubbing needle and just tidy up any fibres that are trapped. Maybe they're caught in below a turn of hackle, or they're just caught around the bend of the hook and they're not sitting in their natural position. There's one there, if I can just get it. There we go. So the rib of her body is going to be our silver oval again, the same as the tag. So we catch it in again. You want to take the tag end of that the whole way up to where your body is, or where your threads, where you caught your thread on at the start. So 3 or 4 turns to catch that on. And then for our body, we're going to be using silver holographic. You trim off about 6 inches of that. Cut the end at an angle, catch it in. So you want 3 or 4 turns just to secure the material, and then bring your thread all the way up. Now you can see there's a lump in the body there, just about here. That'll make it very awkward to wrap your tinsel over, because it'll slip up and down the lump and it'll show your thread. So you just work back down, and then with your thread, nice and easy, just try and smooth any lumps out. It shouldn't be too bad there. So we take our silver mylar, nice overlapping turns, and because we have a nice smooth body, it shouldn't slip up or down. A few turns there to catch it in. Trim off your excess. And now your rib. About 3 turns should be plenty. 1, 2, 3. A few turns just to catch the tag in. Trim it off. Now for a rear hackle, we're going to be using a magenta hen hackle. Same thing, pull off the flue at the end, bare up our tip, just working in to find, just working back up the tip to find the fibres the length you want them, and tying it in. Now the hen hackle would be a lot softer than cock hackle, so you don't really need to double it over. You can manipulate it enough with your fingers when you're tying it in to get the fibres to lie backwards. Catch the stalk in with our hackle pliers and gently make a couple of wraps, always pulling the fibres backwards. Anything that wants to lie in front of your wraps of hackle, just try and tease it back. Three or so wraps of hackle. Catch your stalk in. Trim it off. Again, with your hackle pliers, just make sure, or with your dubbing needle, sorry, just make sure everything's sitting. There's a wee fibre there sticking forward, so tease it back with your thumb and forefinger. Get a wrap of thread over it. If it's sitting alright, you're grand to go on to the next stage, and if not, just again tease it back, thumb and forefinger, and another wrap of thread just till you get everything sitting the way you want it. So for the rib for our front body, again we're going to be using our silver oval. So we catch it in, taking the tag end of that hackle to just behind the eye. Whip the whole way up, back down again. And our front body, the same as the rear, is our silver holographic tinsel. So we cut a taper in the end. Catch it in. 3 or 4 turns to hold it in place. Again, checking that there's no big lumps or bumps in the body. If there is, just use your thread to take it out. Not too bad. Bring your thread up to about 2 or 3 mil behind the eye, and then wrap your silver mylar. Again, slightly overlapping turns. Tie over the top with your thread. Trim off your waste. Again, take your rib, 2 or 3 turns. 2, 3. Catch your ribbon. Trim the excess off. Now for the front hackle, we're going to be using a blue hen hackle. So strip off all the stuff at the back that I won't be needing. Bare our tip up. Catch the tip in with 4 or 5 turns. Trim off our tip, making sure there's no fibre sticking up in front of the eye. And again, the same as the middle hackle, gently tease everything back. Oh, it slipped. I'll not worry too much about that. So again, the 4 or 5 turns of hackle that you put, or thread that you put on, just take it back off. Catch it back on again. Bit of a tendency of slipping a bit when you're using the hen hackles because the tips are just so fine. Hackle spun a wee bit there, so stroking the fibres back. And try this stage again. One, 2 turns, 3 turns of hackle over the top, catching our stock on. Trim off our excess stock. Now we've got a couple of bits of hackle fibre sticking forward. Again, we just want to gently stroke them back, push them back. A couple of turns of thread over, see how they're sitting. That's not too bad. So we're going to finish our fly off with a fire orange head. So to change from our white thread, take your whip finish, three or four turns, trim it off, and then just with our new thread, whip on. We're also going to add a couple of jungle cock eyes into this pattern as well. So lay the first one on top of the second, line the tips up, and pull your fibres back to bear up the stalks. From here then, pretty good there. I take my scissors, trim off some of the flue. First one done. You want to try and trim it as close to the stalk as you can. It just means then when you're tying them in and folding them over, there's not as much fluff or anything to get in your way. So take the two of them, just make sure they're lined up, pinch them on and tie them in with a couple of loose turns. Sometimes they just take a little bit of working with to get them sitting just how you want them. It's pretty good there. And then a couple of tighter turns. Pull your hackle stalks over the top. A few turns just to tighten them in. Trim them both off. So from here we just take a few more turns of thread to build our head up, just to cover any bits of hackle stock that would be sticking through. That's okay there. And we're ready to whip off. This bobbin holder of mine's making a wee bit of squeaking. I'll have to get some oil or something onto it later. Now we're ready for the drop of varnish. And there we have Silver Wilkinson.